We finally did it. We've made it to Division 1 with my minions. Whether you've watched all the streams it took, or you didn't give a flying damn about it, this was by far the most difficult challenge I've done so far. So I think it is worth going back from the beginning and look back on the journey it took us from Division 3 to Division 1. Of course, we have to start with our squad. You guys have voted for a height limit of 170 centimeters. Immediately I knew this would be quite a challenge for some of the positions, but I wasn't too concerned for the attackers at least. Part of the reason I even considered taking on this challenge is because I knew I could still use my beloved Miami Messi. This Messi is my rock, my anchor. Even when I go through rough losing streaks, he is still here to cheer me up. So of course, he deserves a starting spot in this team. For the centre forward, I dug up my old archive of carried through legends and found this Romario that I don't really use, as well as Julian Alvarez on the bench. I briefly considered using Safi Salih as well, but I didn't think I would need that many centre forwards. One player I had missed though was Benjeda. I definitely had at least a few versions of him, but I could not find any version of him in my player list. I came to the conclusion that I must have released him, thinking I'd never use him again. Moral of the story is, never release any players, because you never know when you'll need them for a stupid challenge. For the left winger, I have this Echeverri card from the Club World Cup, which I've been meaning to try out. Also with this gem, Moussa Diaby card, which I finally have an excuse to use again. Other players playing on the wing are Conceição and Marcus Edwards. Oh, and of course Maradona too, but he doesn't really play on the wing, and also it doesn't really fit my system. But we'll get to that later. In midfield, we have another gem, Camry Doumbia, a player that I've used whenever he's in form. Next to him, we have a fan favourite, Chanatip. With a height of 158 centimeters, he qualifies with room to spare, perhaps saving the precious height allowance for the goalkeeper. More on that later. On the bench, we have Xavi Simons, specifically the version before he had his growth spurt. We also have the likes of Guerrero, who is a left back but trained as a midfielder. An absolute glitch of a card. We also have the epic himself, Ricky Puig, and Mr. Kicking Power, Paul Scholes. I could not find any real replacements for a defensive midfielder, so Puig and Scholesy will have to do. You might say, but you do have some defensive midfielders, you just put them at CBs, and you would be absolutely right. But finding a decent natural centre back with less than 170 centimeters tall had proven to be impossible, so I decided training my defensive midfielders to play at centre backs was the best that I could do. Literally, Lobotka and Kante were the only two defensive midfielders I have that fit this category. For our fullbacks, I was expecting this to be a lot easier than it would be. For some reason, I imagined most fullbacks would be very short, but nonetheless, we were able to find a couple of decent fullbacks with subs to spare. For the goalkeeper, again, it was quite difficult to find a decent one under the height limit. Sure, there are goalkeepers who fit under the limit that I could get from the GP store, but with their towering heights and a whopping 88 max overall rating, I thought I would look for some alternatives. So I turned to you guys in the stream to elect a suitable goalkeeper for the challenge through a democratic vote. In the end, the majority voted for Ochoa, a keeper who is considered short in the goalkeeping world, but also not too overpowered in game. The height quota from Chanatip seems to have covered the height of Ochoa. With the squad up and running, it is time to take these minions to test, starting from Division 3. The first game went very well for me, scoring a beautiful free kick to take the lead. And this is when we discovered Romario's hidden talent with headers. Then I scored another free kick, this time under the wall, and the game ended in a massive 7-2 for me. The second game was a quick one, scoring 3 quick goals, and the opponent abandoned the match early on. Damn, he got disconnected me. Okay, I did. Ooh, win 100 games against people with a higher... Then I went on to win the next 2 games as well. Just as I thought this was smooth sailing, I was about to be hit by an iceberg, a Syrian iceberg it would seem. A great player whom I've faced a few times before, but with a squad like mine, I knew this would be tough. I did, however, take the lead through a beautiful shot from Scholes, but my dreams were quickly shattered through 2 quickfire goals from Mbappe. What? Oh, I'm lagging a lot. Okay. A reality check that put me back on Earth. But I wasn't too discouraged. I held my head up and went on to win the next 2 games. Just as I managed to regain a little bit of confidence, I was hit by not another iceberg, but worse, hay fever. As the name suggests, he was practically unstoppable. I was leaking goals after goals like a runny nose, suffering from, well, hay fever. How did that sneak through? Of course. Yeah, again, there's no defending it. Oh, okay. Nice. The next game I was hoping to bounce back, and I thought I did when Super Romario managed to beat Lilian Thuram in the air to score the first goal. Oh, Romario? Nice. But due to a slight mistake of mine during a corner and Albert Ferrer's reluctance to block the shot, the game ended 1-1. I did win the next game quite comfortably, so that's where I decided to end it for the stream, with a record of 9 wins, 2 draws and 3 losses. Going into the second stream, spirits were high, especially after a win against the better team. I was feeling better about the games to come, but if there was anything I learned from the first stream, it was that the game would destroy my confidence right when I'm feeling my best, and that's exactly what happened in the second match. I started to leak goals again, but this time it wasn't due to hay fever. I couldn't really come up with a joke about Armac. Anyway, it was in this match that I started to have serious doubts about Ochoa as a keeper. Okay. The next match didn't make me feel that much better either, with Ochoa proven to be as useful as a goalpost and an embarrassing 6-0 loss. Something had to be done. I decided to give Ochoa the Onana treatment. Even the names sound similar, and Pulisic would get the number 1 spot, though Pulisic didn't play in the next game as he was on red arrow. Nonetheless, the next game was far better for me as I went on to score 3 goals. Chanatip, pass to Messi, Romario. Oh! Chanatip is in. Nice. I wish I could say Ochoa redeemed himself, but all he did was to assist the opponents for a goal. But with a win of 4-1, I wasn't too upset about it. Pulisic did start in the next game, and it was in this game that we got a glimpse of Pulisic's brilliance as a goalkeeper. We also witnessed the most hilarious offside call of all time. Oh, I thought that was a penalty. I was like, what happened? I managed to win this game through a massive gift. It was enough to seal Pulisic's first win. The next game was also a narrow win. Nice. Yeah, you can see, check my Kante. But it was the next game that we faced our worst nightmare. We faced a team with Paul Onuachu and Leonardo Cherry. With a height of 201 and 198 centimeters respectively, they are dubbed as the GP Collars. Though the Collars from Timu didn't cause too many problems due to my opponent's inaccurate manual finishing. Another banger from Scholes gave us the lead, and Pulisic once again showed us his brilliance. Keeper? Yes, Pulisic. Uh-oh. The game ended in yet another narrow win for us. Pulisic's record in this stream was 3 wins out of 3. Oh, and we reached Division 2, so that's where the second stream ended. The third stream started out strongly. We played against Mr. Kev G from AliExpress because he uses Smart Assist, and we finished the game 5-2. The next match, however, was tough. Against a squad and a team name like this, I knew I couldn't match his charm. Once again, Ochoa was showing us why he's called the Mexican Onana, conceding 3 goals, which ended in a tough loss for us. That's okay. The next game wasn't much better either. Ochoa showing us this time he has the reaction speed of a turtle. No, not this turtle, the slow ones. But luckily his teammates were not put off by his antics and scored 3 goals. Oh, nice. Gnonto? Romario. GG. But just as we thought we managed to scrape a win off this, Ochoa had to create some drama, once again relying on his teammates to save his ass. Gave me a heart attack. The next 2 games went very well for us, including an exciting game against a guy with a full GP squad. Jay can do. If you're watching this, GG, and you're a heck of a player. The next 3 games were also okay, getting 2 wins and 1 draw, and that was the end of the 3rd stream. After the good results of the 3rd stream, going into the 4th stream I thought it would be the one to carry us to glory. Indeed, that's what I thought after the 1st game, as I caused a massive heartbreak with a 5-2 win. Come on! Nah, that was my fault. That's it! Oh, what a pass! What a finish! Let's go! GG! The 2nd game also went okay, but of course it wasn't without Ochoa giving me a heart attack. Oh, smart assist! Maybe too much? He moved the... Oh, it still went in! More! Woo! Woo! 3rd game I went against the former leader of the Soviet Union, and it sure felt like a fight against the Soviets. We did score first, but he managed to come back and lead 2-1. Then it was a series of us equalizing, him leading again and again. 1-2 goal, not... Romario? Nice! Until it was 94th minute and the score was 4-3. I didn't give up. I kept on fighting and fighting, and I was rewarded with a late goal to scrape a draw out of the immovable force that is the Soviet Union. I hope these Soviet jokes aren't too far. If I disappear after this video, then you know what happened to me. The next game was a comfortable 5-2 win for us. GG. Cool. And we are now at 1752 rating, extremely close to the finish line. But if you remember about what I said earlier, the game likes to trash your hopes just when they're at their very peak, and that's exactly what happened. The following games were soul-crushingly narrow losses, games that I felt I could at least get a draw, but I was ultimately helpless. Romario outside, goal. Ah, I saw that. Okay, fair. Nice. That's, you know which one I'm talking about. He's offside. Oh shit. Damn. Slipping away. To make matters worse, the losses prompted the hater to doubt my content, drawing comparisons between me and Mestre. And to be fair, that's a comparison that no one should be making. Mestre is by far miles ahead of me. But to be honest, I don't think this commenter had known that I was running a challenge or had seen my squad. After I had pointed out the obvious that I was using these giants in defense. Also, have you seen the squad? He seemed to have disappeared. Maybe we just live in a world where losing with a handicap makes you a bad player. The next game didn't get any better though. Okay, that was our fault. He might not be. Uh-oh. And just like that, our rating plummeted like the stock market when Trump announces tariffs, and we were back at where we started in terms of rating. The next game I thought we were in for yet another soul-crushing defeat, but I managed to fight back to win 4-2. Offside? Romario? Oh, Romario! Oh, I didn't time it well. Come on. Nice. Nice. Nice, come on. That would be a good time to stop for today. At this point, I was just happy to finally get a win, and I decided I should give my mental health a break and end on a good note. Speaking of good notes, do note that during the whole of stream number 4, Pulisic was not part of the squad because he was on D form that week. Coincidence or not? Time will tell. Going into stream 5, I did not have high expectations, mostly due to the poor performance from the 4th stream. I knew we would have to pull our socks up to be able to finish our goal. Something needed to be done, and I started to look for reinforcements. Abdullah Ali gave me a few defensive suggestions, and I decided to pick Leandro Lozano, a right back who can play as a centre back natively. On top of that, he was on B form that week. Equally as important, Pulisic is now back on C form, which means we can put Ochoa back to where he belongs, the bench. This was our squad going into the games. By this point, Maradona was out of the squad. He just didn't fit my system. He couldn't replace Messi on the wing. He couldn't replace Romario as a number 9, and his passing stats are not great for an attacking midfielder. But happy to report that De La Cruz is now part of the squad. The first game of the stream started strong once again, and we were up 2-0 in the 77th minute. De La Cruz finished? Surely this is an easy win, I thought to myself. But with Pulisic giving us his best impression of Ochoa, we conceded 2 last-minute goals and gave away a win. A bottle job even Tottenham would be proud of. I was met with an overwhelming sense of despair, thinking this would be just like the last stream. I had no option but to keep going, and go again we did. This time it was a lot better. We took the lead early, and we saw yet another masterclass from Lozano. Yes. 1-2. Nice. As well as a volleyball masterclass from Ochoa. That didn't bother me much, as we scored another goal to cement the lead. Luckily, my opponent soon abandoned the game, as he came to the realization that there was no way to beat Lozano. Next game, we fielded our trusted backline once again, a backline so strong that it had yet to lose a game. And this game was no exception. Once again, we went 2 goals up and the opponent abandoned the match. Whew, what a goal! Come on, let's go. Okay, come on. Next match, we had a brick wall of a backline once again. This time with Pulisic on blue arrow, surely nothing would get past. And it was the same story again. 3 quick goals and the opponent left the game. What a goal! I didn't mind my opponents abandoning the games at all. If it meant stopping me from bottling their wins, I would take that happily. Next game though, we came up against Credit Card FC, which sure looked like it would be a challenge. But you know what they say, credit cards can't cut open a brick wall. No one has ever said that, but nonetheless, the sentiment is still true. We dismantled the credit card without getting even a scratch on our brick wall. Nice! Can Safi Salih score a goal? He can! We're now at 1783 rating. Surely the next win will be the one, I said to myself. And so I went into this match feeling confident, taking a 2-0 lead in the first half, and once again Lozano pulling off some sensational stuff. Oi, nice. Pulisic also put on a show, showing Ochoa he's meant to parry the ball away from the opponent, not to them. With a 2-0 win secured, surely we have finally reached Division 1. The Konami gods decided it wasn't the time, thinking that I had climbed Mount Everest, only to realize I'd climbed K2 instead. I was feeling demotivated, knowing that the next games I could fall back down the mountains again. I mustered up the tiny bit of courage left in the tank and I went again. In this promotion dependent game, we actually started extremely well, scoring 3 goals in the first half. Surely this has to be it. Nice! What pass? But as I thought I was strolling through this game, that's when I took the gas off the pedal and started to become complacent, allowing my opponents to crawl all the way back to 3-3. Come on. And then he's passing like this and still makes it. Oh, here we go. Feeling discouraged once again, I told myself not to give up. I kept trying and trying. Romario? Come on. In the end, we managed to get through with a defensive mistake from the opponent, and we took the lead once again. All I had to do was defend, and defend I did, right until the 90th minute, when we thought we were in the clear. Ochoa had to create some drama and once again give me a mini heart attack. Oh my god, no. Ooh. At this point I'm convinced Ochoa plays for the opposition team, but I managed to survive the little scare and booted the ball away from my goal. The referee blew the final whistle, and a hard-earned 4-3 victory later, we have finally reached the summit. As we enjoy the view from the very top, it is important to look back on the journey and the people who helped us get here. Of course, I have to thank everyone who tuned in to these streams and provided emotional support when we went through rough patches. But we also have to acknowledge the players who played a big part in this challenge. And so I have the following awards to give out. The best goal scorer goes to Romario. No surprises here. He's not only known for his agility and his lethal finishes, he's also proven that he's a complete player with his dominance in the air. The best midfielder award goes to Scholes, a midfielder so reliable, especially when it comes to long shots from outside the box. The best defender and newcomer award goes to Leandro Lozano, a player so underrated but very quickly edged his name into the Hall of Fame with his epic level defending. I have to thank Abdullah Ali once again for the suggestion. The best goalkeeper award of course goes to Ochoa. Wait, no. The best meme and opposition player award goes to Ochoa. We don't need to elaborate on that. And finally, the best goalkeeper award goes to Pulisic, a sleeper keeper that no one would bat an eye on, but he has proven to be solid and reliable. Pulisic's record in this challenge is 5 wins, 1 draw and 0 losses. Speaking of records, this backline had a 100% win rate, so of course it gets the best backline award. So that's it guys, thanks so much for tuning in. This was quite a challenge in the end, one that I nearly gave up. Do I recommend this challenge? If you're a masochist then sure, but if you value your mental health then perhaps not. Big shout out to my channel members. Do consider supporting the channel by joining the membership, or you can like and subscribe if you haven't already. At the moment I'm taking a full pay to win team for a run this whole phase, so make sure you come and join us for some of the streams. Until next time, goodbye.